Today we're talking about Britney Spears' upcoming Tell-All, a British airline starting their new child-free section aboard flights, Detroit casino workers have hit the picket lines, and more all in today's episode of The Insight-hour. What's up, internet people? How goes the Wednesday? Oh, question before we start. Have any of you been watching Loki Season 2? So far, I think it's been pretty good. Sadly, I don't have anyone to talk about it with, though. So, let me know your thoughts if you are. And if you're thinking about watching it but haven't committed to the franchise for the past decade, we made an insight dive on Loki's MCU backstory last week if you want a crash course on him. Anyways, enough self-promo. Alice, let's do the celebrity story first.
Britney Spears has a new memoir titled The Woman in Me, in where the pop idol will open up about her life story.
So, after roughly 13 years trapped in a restrictive conservatorship, pop icon Britney Spears is finally ready to share her side of the story in a tell-all memoir, causing her to feel infantilized and stripped of her basic freedoms. It was a twisted real-life Black Mirror episode sort of a situation, but after tirelessly fighting for her rights, and a little help from the internet, the conservatorship ended in November 2021, freeing Britney from the puppet strings. Opening up requires revisiting painful moments, like losing her passion for music and feeling disconnected from herself, but Britney wants to reclaim the narrative despite the lingering hurt. The raw memoir promises to be an unfiltered truth directly from Britney. Like, remember when she shaved her head back in 2007? The rapacious paparazzi had a field day, unaware of the real story. Well, in a promotional interview, Britney discussed how amid a difficult divorce, her dramatic haircut was an act of defiance against objectification and judgment. Turns out it was her way of screaming, "You don't own me." Yet, under the conservatorship, she was forced to regrow her hair and resume performing. The levels of control are pretty shocking. Oh, here's another lighthearted bit. As an 8th grader, Britney and her mom bonded over daiquiris, or as they call them, toddies? Toadies? Something? You know, becoming giddy and adventurous together, if that's what we're gonna go with for child drinking. Anyways, The Woman in Me, due to be out October 24th, promises to be an emotional roller coaster. And while I'm not a Britney stan, the lives of child stars fascinate me, so I'll probably end up reading it. Let me know if y'all want a breakdown when it comes out.
Our next story is stirring up quite a debate in the world of travel. Corendon Dutch Airlines has announced that they will be introducing only adult zones on their flights from Amsterdam to Curaçao, starting November 3rd.
Alright, so let's look at this new policy that's got everyone talking. For a small fee of £45, or about $47.67 American, you can now purchase access to an adults-only section on flights. Sounds sexy. You can even get more legroom for an extra £100, or about $105.94 American. The airline says this is for travelers looking for some peace and quiet in the sky. Ah yes! Peace and quiet, those mythical creatures we all yearn for but rarely find, especially at 30,000 feet in the air. The reactions pouring in have been raging all over the spectrum on this one. Some folks are celebrating, saying this will let them enjoy their in-flight wine and Ambien-induced naps without interruptions, but others are crying foul, saying how it reflects how intolerant we've become as a society, shutting out children who are, after all, our futures. Meanwhile, competitor JetBlue is taking a different approach on this. They're going to start seating any child under 13 next to their adult for free, no exceptions. Their stance seems to be, hey, we know kids aren't always a picnic, but let's not pawn them off on strangers. Let's be honest, air travel can be a pressure cooker these days. You've got the security gauntlet, delays, and the dubious definition of food once aboard. Finding your seat is meant to be a moment of relief, but when it's invaded by a screaming infant or kid smashing into the back of your tray table, that moment crumbles fast. A child-free zone could be a refuge for road warriors who just want some peace. Imagine reading a book, listening to music, or heck, even sleeping without an interruption. But wait, this could be a win for parents too. Any mom or dad who's flown with their kids know it's no picnic. The judgmental stares, the exasperated sighs from fellow passengers. I mean, it's gotta be enough to give anyone a complex. Not that I would know. I'm still childless. Anyway, a child-free zone could take some of the pressure off of that. Parents could let their kids be kids without ruining someone else's flight. So what do we think of child-free zones? Misguided cash grab or ingenious solution? I guess your opinion boils down to what matters to you most when flying. Just don't forget your noise-canceling headphones because, let's face it, adults-only section or not, there will always be kids on planes.
Up next in Athens, Georgia, a Chick-fil-a restaurant has been targeted by thieves, but what they were after may surprise you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you this important news bulletin. It seems some no-good thieves have been targeting Chick-fil-A, and not for the chicken sandwich or waffle fries. Oh no, these villains are after something much more valuable. The used cooking oil. Okay, so here's the greasy story. In the wee hours between 3 and 5 a.m., a couple of crooks rolled up to a Chick-fil-A in a U-Haul. They broke the lock, chaining the oil container, and drained roughly 200 to 300 gallons of what is apparently liquid gold. Side note, did any of you have a clue that cooking oil was so valuable? I mean, I would have been sneaking that shit back when I worked in restaurants if I knew this. Anyways, if you can believe it, this isn't the first time this has happened. Turns out these oil bandits have struck the same Chick-fil-A 4 times now, making off with 700 to 800 gallons total over the past few months. So we're talking a hearty $2,000 worth of pilfered oil, enough to fry up a mountain of chicken nuggets. You know, there's a fool me once, fool me twice lesson to be learned here. I don't need to learn the lesson. Sounds like somebody does though. Now, Athens Clark detectives are searching for clues, but so far these cooking oil thieves remain at large. Now, they are facing some serious charges, not just theft, but criminal trespassing and property damage too. Okay, so you might be asking yourself right about now, why is used cooking oil such a hot commodity? Well, as it turns out, it can be recycled into biofuel, animal feed, and even cosmetics. Yeah, so ladies with all your makeup, you're the problem. Speaking of makeup, look at all these fucking blemishes, man. I should probably start wearing some. Any of you want to do some free makeup work for an uprising YouTuber? Probably not, no. We can count it as an internship if it'll help you get some like college credits or something. Anyway, so these crooks are sort of onto something, but their methods are questionable at best.
Moving to Detroit, Michigan unionized workers at 3 major casinos have gone on strike. The workers are demanding better wages, retirement benefits, and protections against new technology.
Okay, so it looks like the Motor City is revving its engines for a showdown. The workers at MGM Grand Detroit, Motor City Casino, and Hollywood Casino at Greektown have put down their cards and picked up their picket signs. These dealers, cleaners, and servers, over about 3,700 union members, say they've had enough of the low wages, shit benefits, and don't want to lose their jobs to robot dealers. Sound familiar? Now, you can bet this will hit casinos where it hurts. We could see upwards of $700,000 in lost tax revenue for the city and state. And the casinos themselves stand to lose upwards of $3.4 million per day. $3.4 million a day. What the fuck? Shit, it looks like I need to start a casino or something. Or a gacha game. Those things are basically casinos. Anyone got a good idea for the new Genshin Impact? Anyway, the folks at Hollywood Casino claim they've made generous offers to settle this bet, but if the offers were so great, why would people still be shouting and marching outside? Sounds like someone may be bluffing. Just a little bit. You know, I'm happy to see workers standing up for themselves across industries lately. I mean, it's about time people demand the wages and benefits they deserve. The people at the top aren't the only ones that deserve nice things. So what's the smart money say? Will the workers hit the jackpot with their demands? Or will the casino shut them down? Place your bets in the comments and stay tuned to see if anyone rolls a natural in this high-stakes game of labor relations.
Our final story takes us back to the political arena, where Republicans have rejected Representative Jim Jordan for House Speaker on a first ballot. This signals more turmoil ahead for the GOP.
Alright, so Jim Jordan faced another embarrassment today as he was rejected by 20 members of his own party in his bid to become House Speaker. When your own team continues to deny you the top spot, I mean, you know you've got issues. But this may just be a minor setback for Jordan. I mean, it took McCarthy multiple rounds of voting over several days to finally secure the position for himself, so you know. Notably, Jordan's repeated rejections have slowed business in the House down to a halt. This normally routine vote for Speaker has turned into a chaotic spectacular, reminiscent of some WWE wrestling. Jordan says he expected the pushback, but he believes he'll prevail eventually. So, like I said, probably just a minor setback, but the clock keeps ticking and the Republican Party looks increasingly in disarray as it does. I don't know about you, but to me, this whole fiasco spotlights some looming questions about the GOP's identity going forward. Will they continue to fully embrace Trumpism, or are we seeing an attempt to chart more moderate path? And let's remember, the Speaker of the House is second in line for the presidency, so stakes are incredibly high here. So what do you think? Does the rejection of Jim Jordan signal the GOP wants to dial back the extremism and maybe become more mainstream again? I say it's complicated. You could argue that the party wants to distance itself from incendiary figures like Jordan, but, and it's a big but, this may also just be the standard internal jockeying for power, which, if I have to be honest with myself, is probably what's actually going on here. I mean, this is exactly what McCarthy had to go through, and unfortunate for him, this is exactly what got him kicked out of the office in the first place. So good luck to you, Jordan. Anyways, make no mistakes though, this is going to be a defining point for the Republicans in the House and what type of legislation we see moving forward. So the Republicans really need to determine what they genuinely stand for and who they stand behind. Will it be ride or die for Trumpism, or a shift to broaden appeal? Some would say Biden's not doing the greatest right now, and that this is an opportunity for Republicans to chip away at that Democratic base. Jordan's rejection could be foreshadowing some bigger moves to come, or it may just fizzle out in a minor blip. But anyways, I think that's what we're going to call it for the day. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts on any of today's topics. And like always, stay weird, stay safe, and I'll see you on Friday. And I'll see you on Friday, and I'll see you on Friday. I don't know which one sounds better yet. I'll get back to you on that. Bye.